Ow, stop poking me.
I'm sorry. Okay. Before we started the show, she's like, can we just start this time like normal and you not do anything weird and sing and do stuff? And then she starts poking me because apparently that's the way she thinks it's going to make it start normal. What is happening with you right now?
I don't know.
Can we just do this normal? So basically, you want me to deny who I am as
just for a minute of me. Just for a minute.
How dare you? We have tens of people right now.
Tens of people
who are here to see me say something weird. Okay, tens of them.
I'm sorry for your tens of fans.
What is happening, everybody? Hello, it's Sunday live haul.
Hello, everyone.
How's that Diet Coke tasting?
Why are we spinning?
I don't know. Where are you spinning?
I don't know.
I think we're fine. Okay. Anyway, what's happening, everybody? It's Sunday live haul. It's still a little chilly here. You know, we're in Vegas, and so we've had our fake spring, fake summer. Actually, it's nice all the time here, but it had gotten like in the 70s, and then
it even got up to like
the
80s for a couple
like
of
low
days.
80s. And then it got super cold again this week, and it was like raining. Like we went over 200 days without rain. And then we had a bunch of rain for a little bit, and then it went back to being normal sunny. But it was raining. It was like the other day I went out and it was 37 degrees in the morning.
There was snow in the northern parts.
And one of our friends like sent me a video of the snow falling in his backyard that morning here in Vegas. So it's kind of cool though, because then on the mountains, there's like, you can see the snow, which is what I think is awesome in Vegas is when you can see the snow in the wintertime, because it's still usually blue skies and sunny, even if it's a little chilly, but then you get snow, but you don't actually have to
far enough away.
You don't actually have to deal with the snow.
You don't have to shovel it or drive in it.
You don't have to live your life like Liz O'Kane, who's pretty much snowed in right now and is going to get 500 feet of snow by the end of the day.
Yeah, Liz, come get your weather.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
It's gone now.
Get your weather out of my yard.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going through that time where it's like, we turn on the air conditioning and now we're back to turn on the heat, and I don't know what's happening.
Liz, hey, why are you talking about me?
We're talking about you and your stupid weather. Anyway, so hopefully it's going to be getting back to nice and warm again here. I'm ready. I'm kind of ready for summertime.
I think it's supposed to be 70s this week.
I'm kind of ready for it.
I'm ready. I'm ready for pool time.
Yeah.
Usually by the first week of April, we're ready for the pool.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've been saying that since I got here, and it's never April. It's always, and then you always say the same thing, like last time. I don't know.
Not true.
I don't know. Anyway, guys, what's happening? So this is our Sunday live haul. I don't know if anyone's here for the first time. If so, I apologize. I'm Katy. This is Vicki, aka Victoria, when she wants to be taken seriously. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
AKA stole my Diet Coke, even though she's got Diet Pepsi in the fridge. AKA giving me sassy looks all day. AKA my fiance. How do you feel about that?
That was a very long intro. I have a lot of AKAs.
Yeah, you do.
Let's hope I don't ever get arrested again. And they have to have
I'm not
all my
out,
AKAs.
So I'm going to bail you out. Anyway, so this is our show we do every Sunday. We break it into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our numbers for the last week, our gross numbers. Then we break down some of the fees, some of the
Why are the numbers
costs.
Gross?
Listen, this is not the day for you to start being a comedian. Yesterday wasn't the day. Tomorrow's not the day. It's never going to be that day. Okay?
I'm not allowed to be funny sometimes.
Well, I mean, you can
apparently I have the giggles today.
You can be. You're welcome to be funny. I'm just waiting for it. Anyway,
can't take the competition.
Yes, it's some stiff competition up in here, guys. And anyway, we break down the numbers, look at, most importantly, our cost of goods, because that is pretty important. And even that doesn't tell you the whole story, guys, because who knows? Maybe we spent all our money on inventory that's never going to sell. So basically, just a little note there for you, a little pointer. Don't listen to what people say on the internet. And the middle part.
Don't listen to what people say on the internet, except us.
No, I'm just saying, even with what we do show, which I think we are fairly transparent, even with what we do show, it's never going to tell you the whole picture. So basically, I'm just saying, like, pay attention to that kind of stuff. Middle part of our show, we look at our sales highlights for the last week, some of the cool stuff that we sold. You sold a lot of jackets.
Did I?
A few that you showed me. And so we show you some of the fun stuff that we think might be teachable or interesting. But of course, you can always go and look at our eBay stores or Etsy stores and see what we actually sold over the last week.
Poshmark.
And
we don't hide nothing.
Yeah. And then, does Poshmark show your solds?
Yes.
Yeah. Not all the platforms do.
If you don't delete them, they show the solds on Poshmark. Yes.
And then the last part is when we go over our haul. I did get to go into yesterday's fits on Friday because they had a big sale this weekend, which, by the way, guys, if you live in the Vegas area and you like to flip clothing, you should be checking out yesterday's fits because they've been getting in so much stuff. And so they're selling stuff off pretty cheap.
Katie's giving you her biggest source and doesn't care because she can't even buy enough.
Yeah, well, and they used to, they have a lot of stuff like Britt just bought. What did he buy? Like 350 t-shirts from him a few weeks ago for $2 a piece. I mean, that was stuff that I wasn't going to pick up. It's lower price stuff. It just doesn't fit into my sales model, but it's great if you want to buy stuff for $2 a piece and flip it for 20. I mean, it's seriously, there's enough for everybody.
So, yeah.
Either way, yes, there's great stuff too. There's enough for everybody. They get so much in. Anyway, and then you went and I think you did some thrifting by yourself. And then also we went yesterday on our day off. Which sometimes we use our day off for me to drive you around while you source. Let's be honest.
Let's call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you've got some stuff to show. Although you're jonesing for a big score soon, aren't you?
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, we are headed out on April 9th, which cannot come soon enough. But April 9th to go to Phoenix for a long weekend and hang out with our friend Teresa. And do some sourcing. Woo! And do some sourcing. And usually I like when I get to do a solid 3-day sourcing trip and bring home a bunch of stuff. Palm Springs was a lot of fun, but I did not bring home a large quantity of items.
Yeah. You do better in Phoenix.
I do a lot better in Phoenix for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So hoping to do that in Phoenix. And then we go to Rhode Island 2 weeks after that. That's not for sourcing. That's for visiting family. But I'm sure we'll do a little bit. But there's not a lot of sourcing out there anyway, except estate sales and auctions, which is not going to fit into our time frame. So
you need to go next week and hit the bins or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Corey, if you're watching, Corey, we need to do. Corey's my bins buddy. Corey, we need to hit the bins this week. We were talking about it, and we didn't make it last week.
She needs you. Because you always, whenever you go there, you always end up with a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So for us, Naomi, Phoenix is about a 5.5-hour drive from us. And we like to take long weekend sourcing trips and do Phoenix has, it's a very large area that has
way more thrift stores than here too.
So many thrift stores that we can't possibly hit them all anyway. But we like to go and hit probably 20 or 30 stores in a few days and stock up the car. If you've watched our show before in the past on our Phoenix trips, we come back with our SUV packed to the gills. It's a 7-passenger SUV. It's packed to the gills. And then we always have not always, but we often have a roof rack that is also full. So it's fun.
Allison says, in other news, those stimulus checks are hitting accounts. Time for a thrift trip to Alaska. We're planning. We've already started planning some serious travel in here, so we'll have to see when we can make that happen, Allison. But you definitely want to go there and bring back
nobody is stimulating my store this weekend. I have to tell you. So clearly, they're out shopping elsewhere now.
Well, I mean, I had the last week, it was a strong beginning to the week. And then my last Saturday and Sunday was really good. And then it was pretty meh for the whole week. And then today I was up to $500 by 10 a.m. Of course, then it stopped again. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, some people are definitely getting the money in their accounts and starting to spend a little bit. So as retailers, as we basically are, the hope is that we're going to start to see some
stimulation.
Yeah. You need to be stimulated. We all need to be stimulated, guys.
Listen, so I'm looking at in the chat there, and Vanessa says that the Etsy shop link does not work. We'll check the link at the end of the show, but you can always put either one of our store names in and search that way because we are the same all the way across all platforms. I am LVPinkPeacock, and Katy is a boutique for him.
Yeah, either one will come up, so you should be able to see that. Anyway,
Greg says he has had the best 7 days in a long time, and that's awesome. I am down about my last 7 days is down about 50% from my previous 7 days. So I'm
I need to be listing more.
And then I had some jerk in the UK yank me around for an hour this morning about wanted to buy 20 of my vintage infant dresses, and I had to go and peck and search for every one and add them up and try to create a bundle discount for her on eBay. And I was going to create a special listing, and it was like almost $800. And I offered it to her for $500. And she's like, yes, I totally want to do it. So I started creating the listing. And then she's like, oh, wait, will you take $400?
No,
I'm not giving you 50%.
No, I will not.
50% off of items that are already 20% off. No,
Yeah.
I gave them a generous offer. $500 it is. Bite me with your $400. And then so she immediately stopped communicating with me. So I was like,
rotten
biatch.
Anyway, yeah, so I need to be listing more stuff, and I have a huge pile of stuff that you're taking photographs today, which you're probably going to be finishing that up tomorrow if you don't get done today. And then I have quite a bit because I have got the stuff I just bought from yesterday's fits, the stuff I bought last week. So I'm ready to photograph a bunch of stuff. And I should be picking up at the pace. That would be really good, I think, for my store. I've got a never-ending source pretty much. So there's no reason, nothing to hold me back other than my own laziness. So
I agree, Greg. She totally was.
Yeah. Anyway, so why don't we go ahead and look at our sales for this last week? You're definitely the winner again.
But it wasn't even a great week.
Yeah, you barely.
I've been pretty consistent for like the past 2 or 3 weeks. Consistently mediocre, that is.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and look at mine. I had 24 eBay orders, and this goes from last Sunday through end of day yesterday. So I had 24 eBay orders, 4 Etsy orders. Man, Etsy, I don't know what happened to Etsy this week, but it's been real quiet there. Like that's like the lowest sales at Etsy over a week I've had in a really long time. Nothing on Instagram. 7 between Grailed and Mercari. 2 of those are Mercari, 5 Grailed. So a total of 35 items going out. Let me make this screen a little bit bigger. And so my eBay gross sales, $1,649.02. I really want to hit 2,000 every week on eBay. eBay, it's just been a struggle. It's like I'll have a couple of days that are like amazing. And then like yesterday, I did like, I think $27 yesterday. And then today I'm already at 500. So it's like, who knows what's going on? You never know.
I am a 0.
So let's see, $242.86 on Etsy. Like I said, I didn't even hit $300 on Etsy. It's been real quiet there. Nothing on Instagram again. And Grailed Mercari, pretty good. Grailed has been a lot busier lately for me. $485, and again, 2 of those sales are Mercari. So like less than $100 of that is Mercari, and the rest is Grailed. It's about $400 just on Grailed. So total gross sales, $2,376.88. Honestly, if I can hit 2,000, at least 2,000 a week right now, that's, I'm not super stoked about it, but it's good enough kind of thing. I really ideally am hitting 3,000 a week, so I need to push that up. Shipping $173.34. You can see the fees all broken down right there and total costs. And my cost of goods, of course, mine are always higher than Vicki's, $445. So my net total sales, $1,475.91. Not bad. I'd really like to be hitting 2,000. My gross average sale price, $67.91. I had a lot of lower priced items go out this last week. Did a lot of lower offers, kind of getting rid of some inventory. I really want to be at 70 and above, so didn't quite make it there this week.
That's pretty close. You're at 68.
It's pretty close, but I know, but I'm just saying I like to be above 70 now, but it is a little lower this week. And then my net average sale price, $42.17. So not too bad. What are we doing?
Before you switch over, I just wanted to answer Sarah Lee's question. Do you think with Jessica McClintock passing away, Gunne Sax will be hot? So Gunne Sax has always been really, really good. 60s and 70s Gunne Sax is fantastic. And especially right now with the whole Cottage Core, Prairie Core, I think it's probably highest and most popular than it ever has been in the last 10 years, as far as I know. The mediocre 80s, 90s, and 2000s Gunne Sax, Jessica McClintock, and Scott McClintock, they're still okay. Those are middle of the range. I don't think this is one of those designers that is necessarily going to, this is my personal opinion. I don't see that is one of the designers that's necessarily going to drive up pricing increases all of a sudden, just because such a prolific designer and a prolific name. There's so much out there. It's not like there's going to be a huge demand. The 60s and 70s, those are much harder to find. And those were not made in such huge quantity that the stuff that was in every single mall in the 80s and 90s was. So that being said, I don't think it's really going to change too much. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think designers passing away influence the price very much. It's not like a famous person, as we know, when famous people die, their particular items and things having to do with them increase in value, like, artists and musicians and, athletes and things like that. But unless you are a designer or you're super into clothing or you're a collector and into vintage, most people don't even know who Jessica McClintock is, honestly. So I don't think so.
All right, let's go ahead and look at your numbers. Yeah, your eBay for you, that's pretty low. So what do you got going on here?
So I had 33 eBay sales, 5 on Etsy, 11 on Poshmark, and 6 between Mercari and Facebook Marketplace for a total of 55 orders. Again, 55 to 60 is pretty average for me, but eBay was low. So I did just about $2,070 on eBay, $412 on Etsy, $465 on Poshmark.
Nice.
$130 on Mercari and $130 exactly on Facebook Marketplace as well, for a total of $32.06.96.
All right.
My shipping was pretty high. I did have a couple of big heavy items that went out. So shipping, my shipping is always higher than yours and your cost of goods is always higher than mine. So my fees, you've got the breakdown there for eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari. So that total cost comes to $696 and change, just under $700. My cost of goods is usually hovers around the 10% mark. So it was a little under 10% of my gross sales. So $263 is still working through a lot of that stuff that I paid $1 or less than $1 each on. So I still have a lot of items that I'm selling there. So my total net $2,247. That's pretty low for me. I do like to be $2,500 to $3,000 net. And my gross average sale price is low as well. It's $58.31.
Yeah, your goal's been like 60 and up.
60 to 65, right? Yeah. Last few weeks has been under that. So my net ASP, just about $41.
Yeah, so hopefully we're going to see some changes coming here soon. People having a little bit more cash money to spend and
sell some stuffs.
Ready to buy some stuff. All right, let's jump right into showing some of our sales highlights for the last week, you guys. Also, I want to know, have any of you guys, after our show on Wednesday, have any of you been playing around with the PhotoRoom app?
I've seen a couple of people comment in our group. Yeah, in our Facebook group, the Boss Facebook group. By the way, if you watch the show and you're not in our Boss Facebook group, please feel free to use the link down below. We love to have you in there. We've got a couple of our admins in the chat as well. We have a really good group of people in there, just about 7,000 members. And it does grow weekly, but we are at a very slow growth. We've had our group now for, I guess, about 3 years. And we don't ever want to be 100,000 something group where all the posts and the members and the questions get lost.
It gets pretty unwieldy after, like, once you get
to a certain point,
it's
really hard to maintain. And we've kept it not advertised very much and kind of harder to find, and membership not closed because we are open, but we've kept it close for a reason. We have some really good peeps in that group.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of our sales highlights for the week. And I'm bringing up PhotoRooms because I'm looking at this first piece that Vicki sold, and it looks awesome because look at that pop, look at that pow, pizzazz, wow.
So I showed this in a haul video when we were in Palm Springs. I picked this up from this and another item that I sold this week from my friend in Palm Springs. I didn't pay anything for the items. She donated them to me. It's a vintage Lilly Rubin dress. I sold it rather cheaply. It sold very quickly, like within an hour. But I'll tell you why. It was missing a bunch of beading, which these beaded dresses do. But more importantly, it has some stains. Right in that photo you see right there, you can see some staining right on that clear mesh near the rhinestones. So I tried to clean it and treat it, and it wasn't able to come out. And it also had some loose threads. Loose threads and loose beads are very common on these type of dresses because, let's face it, you got thousands and thousands of them. But because of all the issues and where the staining was on the mesh, I priced it pretty low, and it sold right away. So maybe I could have priced it a little higher. This is a dress that if it were in better condition, I could have gotten $300 to $400 for it easily. But I didn't pay anything for it, and it sold very fast. So I was perfectly happy with that. It weighs a ton. Thank God it went to California because it only cost me a little over $8 to ship, but it weighs like 4 pounds.
Crazy.
The beading is so damn heavy. But it sold very quickly. So I had nothing invested in it, and it sold for $80 plus shipping.
Not too
But look at how good those, as my friend,
looks really good.
The pictures look fantastic. And as my friend said to me when she gave it to me, she said, my mother-in-law gave me this dress out of her closet, thinking I was apparently going to be auditioning for Dances with the Stars. So she's like, I am never going to wear this thing. Here, please do something
fancy.
So I don't know what's happening, but the Rona must be over because somebody is about to get fancy.
Yep. All right. Next up is this t-shirt. This is a cycling race t-shirt.
Bianchi, an Italian race bike. That's a very popular bicycle.
And this is a specific Italian race. It's kind of up there with the there's a couple of there's a couple of really big European bike races, and this is one of them. And so it's just a really cool shirt. And it's got but you can see it's just destroyed. It's like absolutely destroyed. It's got holes everywhere. I think I paid I got this from Yesterday's Fits a while ago, but it was stained. It's got holes everywhere. It's pretty thin. I think I only paid $5 for it. It was on one of the things he was clearancing out. But because of what the subject matter is and what it is, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm going to price it high.
I'll tell you what, I've sold a few of those bicycles. Those are bicycles from Italy. They are folding. They fold in half. They're folding Italian racing bikes. And I've sold a couple of them, and they are super, super desirable. I've sold them for over $1,000 both times I've gotten them. Man. So I know that the bikes themselves are super popular. So it doesn't surprise me that the shirt with that on them and they're rare. They're not easy to find.
Well, and this is a specific, because of the specific race and everything. So anyway, so I picked this up, bleached the crap out of it, and it's already like falling apart and everything. Priced it high because that's what I do. And I've only had this for like maybe a month at most. And I was doing offers and sold this one for $65. So I think somebody had commented on one of our videos afterwards asking like what we mean by aggressive offers. And to me, an aggressive offer is when it needs to be like a significant discount from the price. When I do my offers to buyers, sometimes I get offers and stuff that whether I'm following it or not, maybe I just looked at it and I'll get an offer and it'll be like 3% off or 7% off,
5% off.
And it's just like, to me, that's a waste of someone's time. If I'm going to bug them if they're going to get a notification, especially when it's a notification that they didn't even like sign up to watch your stuff and they're getting a notification just because they looked at it. I want it to be like something significant. And so for me, that's how I price my stuff. So I didn't offer for $65.
Like if you have a $50 item and you offer 10% off, big effing deal. What's a $5 discount? That's just how I look at it. And again, you can run your business any way you want, but I will tell you aggressive offers that are minimum 20% off is the only thing that tends to work for me. And if I have something priced at $125, by aggressive, I mean, I'll offer 75, I'll offer 80. And I don't sell everything through my offers because sometimes people are just looking at it and they really don't have any interest in it, depending on, it doesn't even matter how big of a discount you give them. But they do work consistently for me. And I send them out, if not every day, at least every other day.
Yeah. So everybody's going to have their own way of doing things and what works for them. It doesn't work for them. But for both of us, even, we have separate stores, separate businesses, but we have similar ideas of how we go into this. And it's, I like pricing my stuff high and having lots of room to play around. And a lot of times if it's something that's really cool, then it might sell, or something that somebody really wants, it might sell right away. But if I've had it for even a week or two, then I'm like, okay, now I can start doing more aggressive offers on it because I just want to get it out of here. And then since I paid $5 for this, maybe in another month I would have sent out a $50 offer. So, all right. Next one for you. Here's one of those jackets.
Yeah, I had this guy sitting around for a little bit. I can't remember where I picked it up, honestly. I have forgotten. I don't think this came from Yesterday's Fits. Not Yesterday's Fits. I don't think this one came from my Clothing Vault buyout. I think this one was one I found in the wild. So I generally don't forget what I've paid for things, but I know I wouldn't have paid more than $10 or $15 for this.
Right.
I have had it for a while because it has the Sizely tag in there, and I don't use Sizely. I haven't used Sizely in a year.
A long time.
I haven't used Sizely in a year because I have Crystal do all of my my photo listings, so she doesn't use Sizely. So this means I've been sitting on it for a while, but it sold for the price you see there, $88. It went back to somebody in Washington.
Cool.
Which means it was probably someone that went to Washington State or given as a gift to somebody that went to Washington State. So I didn't have too much invested in it, $10 to $15 max.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Next up is, I'm always showing you guys my pro sports and my college sports t-shirts and sweatshirts. I'm telling you, they sell, whether it's people who are going to these schools and they're nostalgic or whatever. I think like this particular one, I think is a great graphic. Now this is a white sweatshirt. This is one, I keep telling you guys, my white stuff, if it's got any discoloration on it or anything, I bleach the crap out of it. This is one I bleached the crap out of, and it looks great. It's a white sweatshirt. I paid $15 max for this, and it sold for the price you see there. I priced it at $100 with 30% off, which is pretty much what my store always is on eBay. And so it sold for $69.99. This was listed, it was sometime in the last month. Just a really cool sweatshirt, I think, but definitely be picking up, there's lots of sports stuff out there where the graphics are pretty boring. I think that if it's got great graphics and it looks cool like this and it's in good shape, even when it's messed up and it's not in good shape, actually, I sell it, but you should definitely be picking this kind of stuff up. And again, I paid like $15 for this. So I pay $15 to $20 for these kinds of sweatshirts all day long because I know I can sell them for usually anywhere from $55 to $70 a piece, if not more. So next up.
This is one that I broke the law. Look at this. I used yep. Well, here's the thing. I don't use stock photos very often, but sometimes a stock photo is all that's going to do to show you what an item looks like on an actual person.
This could be you.
This is a really big difference between what it looks like on the person and what it looks like on the mannequin. So this is an item that is no longer sold. It was previous season. So because of that, the chances of me getting nailed with a intellectual property violation are slim. It's really when you're using something that is currently being sold through department stores or on a website that you're going to have issues with using stock photos. Again, I recommend using your own photos for everything. But in some cases, a stock photo makes sense. On platforms like Mercari, I would put the stock photo as the second item, not your gallery photo, because Mercari does not allow stock photos as your gallery photos. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I bought this on our trip to Palm Springs. I bought 5 or 6 of these dresses in this brand name. They all came with tags, and I paid $20 a piece for them. So they were not cheap. I did pay up for them, but I knew the brand would sell, and they're super small. So they're all like extra small. And it sold within the first week of it being listed for the price you see there, $103.56. Nice. I paid $20 for it.
Plus shipping. Yes, Vicki is a rebel. But she wants to, here's the thing. It's like, we'll tell people like, okay, here's best practices. Here's what the rules are. Here's what you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes, it's always up to you as a seller to decide what things you feel comfortable doing or not doing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes throwing a little stock photo up there.
Sometimes that's what's going to sell the item.
But you're not supposed to do it, just so you know.
You really shouldn't use stock photos. eBay does allow it, but not all of the companies that have stock photos out in the interwebs allow it. That's the difference.
Yeah, and they might.
And you can get reported. Yeah, so you've got to weigh that. But for me, I use them very, very sparingly. And this, again, you really can't compare the mannequin photo to the photo on the person to show you actually how high up that slit goes, all that kind of stuff. It looks really good.
All right. Next up, another sportsy item. This is Battle in Seattle, Final Four. And so it's a pretty cool t-shirt. I like the graphic on this. I think it's pretty cool. Regardless of which team won that year, you've got 4 different teams that are shown on this shirt. So that kind of widens the appeal, I think. Or maybe you live in Seattle. I don't know. But it's a cool shirt. And this one I paid $10 for. And you can see this is before I started using the photo room. So my close-ups, you can see the dark curtain behind it. But now everything is white. And so I priced this high. Well, here's what's funny about this particular one is that I've had this probably for a few months at least. And this one, you can see I have it at $99.99. You can't see a sale price there because what happened is it actually went off sale. So it was $99.99. It was on sale for $69.99. I'm sure I sent out multiple offers for this, probably as low as $55, maybe even $50 on this particular one. Well, my sale went off, and literally like 30 minutes after my sale was over, before I'd had a chance to start a new one, somebody offered me $75 on this. And I was like,
yep.
Yes, I will take your $75. That was more than I figured I would even make on it ever. So paid $10 for it, sold it for $75, and it's just a cool shirt. Again, don't pass this kind of stuff up, guys. You can make money all day long on it. All right, go ahead.
So this is one that I actually paid up a little bit for. I bought this from another seller that does a YouTube auction, that does live YouTube auctions. And I knew what it was. It's Emilio Pucci. It's not super vintage, but it could be. It's made to look vintage, I believe. And I didn't put vintage because I wasn't entirely sure, because they're still making these types of scarves. Now, it had some staining, as you can see. It's quite a bit of staining.
A little bit.
And I was not entirely sure. He didn't try to clean it first. And I was not entirely sure if I was going to be able to get this clean or not. I did try. I used Woolite. It is silk. I used Woolite. I washed it by hand. I lightly scrubbed it. I soaked it a little bit. And unfortunately, the stains did not come out. Now, if someone's going to wear this scarf with a busy print, the chances are that the stains are not going to be super noticeable depending on how they're wearing it. So I knew that it was still saleable, but I did not get what I could have gotten for it. I paid $40 for this scarf, knowing the brand. And taking a gamble on whether I could get it clean or not. Mm-hmm. I could not get it clean, but I did sell it for the $110 that you see there.
Crazy.
But I knew I wasn't going to lose money. That was the gamble. It was whether I was going to get $300 for the scarf or I was going to get $100 for the scarf. Yeah. That was the gamble, really. And I was not able to get it clean, but hopefully the buyer's still happy with it. I haven't heard anything otherwise, but it was pretty clear about the staining.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Laura, seriously. I mean, this with this kind of thing, I mean, even this you can sell with flaws, but when it comes to vintage streetwear, particularly t-shirts, some with sweatshirts as well. I sell sweatshirts that have flaws as well, but t-shirts, I mean, there's some people who prefer their stuff to be flawed. They want it to be super faded. They want it to be distressed or destroyed. Not everybody, but some people, it just depends on the buyer. So definitely, you shouldn't let that hold you back from selling something or even pricing it super high. As you'll see with my biggest seller this week.
You'll see that, and people are talking about the $110 for the scarf. It's Emilio Pucci. That's really what it is. It's the name that sold it, regardless of it. It's a very expensive designer, and that would have sold it regardless of the pattern and regardless of the staining. So I knew I wasn't going to lose money at $40. It's unfortunate I couldn't get more for it, but it was a gamble, and I knew that. I used to wear scarves all the time too. I have a whole rack of them in my closet. I hardly ever wear them anymore. But I used to wear them all the time, whether it was with wearing suits or whatnot. But yeah, I never dress up anymore.
But that's where it comes in handy to, like, once you really start to know the items that you buy and sell, and you get a really good feel for what will sell for how much, it gives you a lot more leeway in taking calculated risks like that. Like, you knew you weren't really risking anything. The only thing you were...
I wasn't sure I was going to get even 100 for it, honestly.
But you would have at least been able to make your money back. And potentially,
I knew it wouldn't have been a loss.
You were going to be at a loss, exactly. Okay, so now I have this Harley Davidson 3D emblem sweatshirt. Now, 3D emblem t-shirts, particularly the ones from the 80s, depending on what the design is on them, can sell for a lot. There are some of the ones that have the hog on them, the pig. Some of those, if you ever go look at 3D emblem Harley t-shirts and sort by highest sold for, you will see some crazy, crazy numbers. They're not as crazy popular now as they were, let's say, a year or two ago. But this is a sweatshirt. And so I had picked this up. I paid like $30 for it at yesterday's Fits. I figured it probably wouldn't sell for as much as one of the t-shirts would, but I still figured I'd make some money. I've had it for a while. I've sent out a lot of offers. I sent out offers for like $100. But I definitely wasn't going to go much lower than that because of how much I did pay for it. It's a cool sweatshirt. Nice thing to have in my store. But I finally had somebody offer me 130 and I was like, heck yeah. So I was happy to get that out the door for 130. Like I said, I've been offering like 100 on this one. So, I wouldn't necessarily pay $30 or more for another 3D emblem sweatshirt unless I had one of those other graphics on it in the future. But if I could get it for cheap, for sure. But anyway, $30 into 130. But again, I've probably had this particular sweatshirt for at least a year. I got it. It's been a while. So, but still a cool sweatshirt, a good sale. And it comes in handy when you're having a week where it's kind of like, meh.
Yes. So Tracy asked, when you guys say that you price your items super high, at what percentage more do you price them? So it's hard to use a general. I don't use any type of formula like that. And I know that that's not going to help you and answer your question for you, but I kind of pull my prices out of my ass on almost everything. It's like, oh, I think this dress looks like a $79.95 dress. And then I know that I'm going to get at least 45 or 50 for it. Or I'll price something at $129.99 and I know I'm going to get 75 for it. It's just, I wish I knew how to tell you that, but because what I sell in the categories I sell in the categories Katy sells in, you are not going to have comps that are exactly like what you're selling. When you're selling vintage, nobody is going to look and find probably that exact same 3D emblem sweatshirt that Katy just sold in that exact same size, in that exact same condition. So her comp is only against herself.
Yeah.
It's if someone finds something and it's vintage and it's unique, that's the good thing about selling vintage and unique items.
Yeah.
You're not in competition. It's if someone finds something that you like, that they like, that fits them, you're going to be the only game in town. They're either going to pay your price or they're not going to buy it.
Right. And so, and when you're talking about that unique vintage items, that's where I would caution you, Tracy, because I don't know exactly everything that you sell, but I think you sell a lot more bread and butter, more current brands. I don't think you do a bunch of vintage. So I would say it probably would be a mistake for somebody that sells kind of the more, because the clothing market's very, very saturated.
Like if you're selling
you don't want to
Gap or Old Navy or Abercrombie or mall brands in general,
you don't want to overprice that.
You don't want to overprice that because everybody is selling those bread and butter brands. So unless you have something super unique, Free People, anything like that, those are mid-level mall brands. If you're selling that type of product, then you should really be looking in that category for the same type of thing and going off those prices and going somewhere in the middle for those.
Because otherwise your stuff's going to really get pushed down in the search. But it is different when you're selling unique stuff like we do. And you have to take into account all the other things that will potentially affect your search. And so for me, price is just the one thing that I don't care if my stuff's priced higher than other people's stuff, because I do everything I can to help my search placement in every other way I possibly can. But yeah, you definitely don't want to do it with bread and butter stuff because question about, do you get offers on Etsy? Etsy doesn't allow offers. They don't have a mechanism for buyers to make offers, but they'll send messages. People will send messages,
People send messages and say, hey, are you open offers on this? Or will you take X number, X dollars for this? Occasionally. Most of the time, Etsy buyers just buy at the price you have listed. So, generally speaking, I'm going to accept any reasonable offer on Etsy the same as I would on eBay. So usually when a buyer contacts me, as long as it's within that parameter of what I'm willing to accept, yeah, sure, I'll accept that offer. I'll change the price. Give me 2 seconds. And that's what I do.
So Tommy wants to know, for vintage clothing on eBay, do you put it into the vintage category or regular category or both? So here's the thing with categories.
It depends on you.
Well, and I think this also depends for everybody else. Let me tell you real quick what you need to be checking. Taking the most basic search results that somebody, or search words, keywords that somebody might use to find your item. You want to do a search yourself because it'll show you how they might automatically filter categories. So, for example, if I look up Chicago Bulls t-shirt, it's most likely going to automatically filter that to sports apparel, NBA. And so if you put that into regular clothing or you put that into vintage clothing, somebody might not even ever see your listing. So you need to make sure that you're putting it in the category that's most likely to show up. And so for that reason, all my vintage t-shirts go into just regular men's t-shirts. Now, a lot of times I will pay a little bit extra to have the second vintage t-shirt category, but it's a huge mistake to only list your stuff in vintage t-shirts because it will auto filter into regular t-shirts. And if they don't know to click on vintage t-shirt category, your stuff's never going to be seen.
Yeah. So. And I feel the same way with women's vintage. I put 99% of my items in the regular category because that is how women shop. If you were to, and then there are some people that will dial it into a vintage category as well, but they're usually going to go into a normal category first. And the majority of vintage clothing sales happen out of, say, vintage women's dresses. The majority of vintage women's dresses sell in the regular women's dresses category. So that leads me to believe that that is where the buyers are shopping. So that's where I put the items.
Yep. So yeah, you want to be really careful because also,
and I do not double pay to put it in two categories ever.
Because I'll tell you what, I will go and I'll be looking for stuff either to pick up myself or because I'm doing comps, and I'll find some stuff sometimes that I can snatch up for a super awesome price because they put it in like a
the
weird,
wrong category,
obscure category, and it's like seriously, like nobody's gonna see your shit, guys. You got to be real careful about that. All right, let's go ahead to your next one. Let me close this out. Ooh,
again, this is another dress that came from my friend in Palm Springs. I didn't pay anything for this. This is one that sold for the price you see there. I have zero invested in it. It sold for $129.95. You can see if you go to one of the last photos, there's some loose beading on basically around the hem and the bottom. But other than that, there were no other defects on this dress. But again, this is the type of dress that could have sold for a little bit higher, but this is not it. Evening gowns are not fast sellers. They're not popular sellers. And where the frig is somebody wearing this right now? Nowhere, because there's still stuff not happening.
You know.
So the reality is that I was very happy to sell this also within a few days of listing it for the full price that I listed it at, $129.95. I paid $0 for it. Perfectly happy to get that out the door super fast.
And look at those pictures.
Look at those pictures with PhotoRoom. Woo!
Oh, yeah. And I see the List Perfectly ladies in the house. What's up, ladies?
Hello,
ladies.
Clara, Amanda.
Good to see you. But seriously, these pictures
Speaking
are
of, I wanted to,
fantastic.
before I forget, we are headed to Phoenix the week of April 9th. Girls, ladies, we have to get together.
Yeah.
So we
please,
would love to see you.
The tens of people hanging out in here, we want the List Perfectly ladies to know we're coming.
Who's there? Shut up.
We just like to make plans while we're live on the
I know. Sorry,
computer right now.
Clara, I'll message you.
All right. Anything else about this fabulous dress here?
No, I just, we know that due to COVID, fancy dresses are not selling fantastically lately. So I'm feeling pretty happy to have sold both of those in the same week that we listed them.
Yeah, it's Clara. Clara has gotten your message. She's received it and would like to see us.
We will be fully vaccinated by then too, Clara, by the way.
Woo, woo. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. This is my biggest seller.
Oh my God. I didn't even know you sold this one.
Oh, yeah. Not for that much money though. So here's the example. So this particular shirt, there are not a lot of them out there. I mean, I've seen a couple of them here and there, but when there's something that I think is super cool, and vintage is really hot right now. Movie promos are super hot right now, particularly horror promos. And so something like this, there's nothing else available. I price crazy high. And so that's why you see the crazy price there. But that also gives me a lot of opportunity to send out what we call aggressive offers to buyers. And so I've had this it's been a couple of months now. If you remember, we went to hang out with our friends Dynasty and Adrian is a movie nerd like myself. And so he's always excited to show me all of his toys and gadgets and things that are movie related. And he pulled this out of the closet. This is a t-shirt that he bought for himself when he was like 14 years old or 15, wore the crap out of it. So you can see it is so worn and super faded. Originally, this was black. It's like a dark gray now.
It's thin. It's
super
holy.
thin. You can see all the holes.
Single stitch.
Yeah. Oh, where'd the pictures go? Come back. Okay, there we go. Cracking in the graphics, and you can see the holes in the shoulder there. I mean, this is a worn out shirt. And I even had to do some stretching on it because it was pretty short. And, but seriously, I priced it crazy high. And then it didn't sell for a crazy high amount, and I finally did an offer for...
You literally bought this and bought this, paid for it, and traded him a pair of your own sneakers off your feet that night.
Off the feet, guys. But anyway, I paid $150 for this t-shirt, and I love this t-shirt and had it for a while, but was ready to let it go and move on to the next thing. And so I sent out an offer for $300, and somebody snatched it up and paid $300. So listen, I will pay up for stuff, especially with something like this. I'm a huge Wes Craven fan. I love horror movies. I love this movie in particular. And so I was just excited to have a little piece of history in my grasp for a little bit of time. And then I made a little bit of money off of it at the same time. But just a really, really, really cool shirt. I love it.
So you did not sell it for $6.99.
I did not sell it for $6.99. I sold it for $300. $300.
That's an aggressive offer.
It is an aggressive offer, but I've had it for like 3 months, and it was time. I can move on to something else. I don't want it sitting in my store for a year.
My shit $700. My shit will sit there for a year. I don't care. I've actually looked at it. I average and keep around 3,300 items in my store, and I sell around 3,000 items a year. So for me, that calculates to almost 100% turnover in my mind. That's how
in your mind.
In my mind.
Yeah, I mean, a year.
Anyway.
I priced
I'm
this.
Not saying like a
sure, it would have been awesome if somebody paid $700 for that. Yeah. But I also knew I was gonna, somebody's following it, and I sent out an offer for $300, and it's like, bam, they're getting this huge, awesome deal. And I think that is actually a great deal on this particular shirt.
It's a fantastic deal.
It's a really, really cool.
That's a better deal than I would give. Damn.
Nah, it's a good price. Anyway, next up for you.
Next. So this is a Carlos Santana crew jacket. I don't even know where the hell I got this one. I forgot.
I don't know.
I entirely forgot. I know that I got a similar Joe Satriani one from Robin, Red Robin reseller, from Robin and Dreamy Eyed Joe, but not this one. I honestly do not remember where the frick this came from.
Dreamy Eyed Joe.
So I can't even tell you. I know I wouldn't have paid more than $15 to $20 for it. And I'm getting to the point where I'm apparently senile and I don't remember where I get things anymore. But it sold for the price that you see there, $136.86. Thank you for blowing that up and showing the fuzz on the jacket. That looks...
Oh, there's got a little dog hair on there. It's cool.
That's not dog hair. It's that fleece that picks up everything.
What's that right there?
I have no idea.
It's a piece of
it doesn't go anywhere near the dog.
Sure.
Well, it may have been near somebody else's dog. But anyway, I lint rolled the shit out of it before it went out. So shut up. You watched me do it.
It was in the picture. They paid for that hair, that dog hair. All right.
Well, they're going to be disappointed. They're going to file an IMAX.
they didn't get it. I think this might have been from Jesse's mom, actually.
Maybe this might have been from Jesse's mom.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I know I didn't pay more than $20 for it.
Yeah.
So it sold for $136.86. It was on sale. They paid the sale price. I don't put best offer on a lot of stuff. So $136.86.
All right. Nice work. Very good. All right. Liz, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think I sold anything from Colorado, or I'm not showing anything from Colorado this week. Although I definitely sold some Colorado shit this week. Just saying. All right, so this is a North Carolina Wolfpack sweatshirt. And again, I always pick up anything if it's got a great graphic. I mean, this is an awesome graphic.
Oh, and look at that. You only got a 4-star on that. Look at that. Scroll down. That's
I know, so rude. So rude.
Rude.
So rude. Anyway, be nice to Taylor. So awesome graphic, but I picked this up, and when I bought it, I did see that it had a little stain on it, but I do disclose it. But you can see there's a little stain there. I hoped I would be able to get it out, but I knew you never know. If you don't know what left the stain, you're not necessarily going to be able to get it out.
That looks like a grease stain, and those are hard.
I really tried. Worked some Dawn dish detergent in there. I really tried, but anyway, disclosed it and everything. And it still sold. So, and I didn't really have it listed for very long. I think this was only up for like a few weeks, honestly. But let's see what it sold for, guys. It was on sale, 10% off. So it sold for $62.99. And I paid like $15 for it. 10 maybe even. But I got this at yesterday's fits, and awesome graphic. $10 into $62.99. So very seriously, nice. Guys, pick this shit up. You really should. Next up for you.
So this was a Facebook Marketplace sale. This is something I picked up also in Palm Springs, listed for just a few days. Somebody sent me a message and said, would you take $100? I said, yes, I would. I paid $20 for this at a boutique. It's a 2-piece. It's actually a very, very nice long cardigan sweater set, the kind of stuff that Misook is definitely known for, and it's current. So it's a current style. It's just very pretty, actually. I'm sure I could have gotten more had I held out for longer, maybe on another platform or anything like that. But 5% fees, buyer paid shipping. I'm happy. Get it out the door. I paid $20 for it, and it sold very quickly.
Get out of here. All right. Next up for me, recognize this t-shirt?
I do.
Boo. So I picked this up. We went a few weeks ago. We went for a day trip to Kingman to do a little bit of thrifting. It's in Arizona, but it's like just an hour and a half away from us. We usually go there on our way to Phoenix, so we'll definitely be going there again soon. And we stopped into Gracie's Vintage, our friend Leah that runs that shop. I don't know if she's in the chat. I haven't seen her pop up. Anyway, and so I only bought
her screen name is Cherry Darling when she's in.
I only picked up a couple of things, and then there was like a box on the floor with a pile. And whenever I'm like jonesing for more, I'm like, hey, what's that? What's going on over there? What's going on? And Leah was like, well, check it out, dig through it. And so I dug through it, and I found this t-shirt, and I loved it. It's got holes in it though. It's got like a fairly big chunk out of the shoulder there.
What, did somebody take a bite out of it?
Apparently, geez, no tag. Definitely got some wear and fading, but I mean, come on, guys. This graphic is awesome. Yeah, so you got a little hole there, big hole there. Awesome graphic on the back. Awesome graphic on the front. Just a really cool kind of advertising t-shirt from the 80s.
Leah's in there.
There she is. So anyway, so I was like, how about this? And she was like, $10. And I was like, hot diggity dog. And so I bought it for $10. Thought it was an awesome deal. Definitely was. And then I bleached the crap out of it and made it look even better. And then when I went to list it, there are actually quite a few of these out there. And I was like, you know, I guess I'm not going to sell for as much as I wanted to, but still definitely a huge, really good deal to get for $10. But I'm like, oh, there's other ones out there. There's ones that sold for like $40 around there. And so Vicki's giving me the hurry up thing. I'm trying to tell a story.
15-minute dissertation on every motherfucking thing she sells, I swear.
Let's see. That's 51 minutes in. And so I listed this, and seriously, guys, I listed it, and then that night it sold overnight on Etsy. So it didn't go on sale. So I sold it for $70. Paid $10 for it, sold it for $70. There's other ones out there. Why'd they buy mine? I don't know. Apparently they wanted this particular one with a giant bite out of the shoulder. So
I wanted to address Tommy's question there. Oh my God, I keep seeing Miss Look in the store. It's not Miss Look. Don't buy Miss Look. Misook. Misook. Mislook is some cheap, shitty Chinese brand. Not the same thing, honey. So Misook, it's usually a heavy sweater knit type of clothing. Not quite the same as St. John Santana knit, but it is a heavy, thick knit sweater type of dresses, sweaters, cardigans, shells, that type of thing. Two different brands. Mislook is worthless, cheap Chinese crap. Misook is very nice, high-end women's clothing.
So Leah says that she just bought a shirt on the Flea. That's the virtual Flea on the old Instagram for $2.8K. So basically what you're saying, Leah, is that when we come through in a few weeks, you're going to have some stuff on sale. Is that what you're saying? You're going to have some good deals, and you're going to want to sell some stuff because apparently you just took out another mortgage so that you could buy a t-shirt for $3,000. I don't even know what you bought. Congratulations on your new child. And
congratulations on the vehicle that you purchased on a shirt.
And we'll be ready for some smoking hot deals when we come through, because you're going to be clearancing out a few things to
pay for that crack habit.
Pay for your new child. Anyway, all right. I definitely want to see what you bought, though. Sure.
Another question from Tracy. Do either of you have immediate payment on all or some of your listings? We both have it on all of our listings, immediate payment required. But when you send offers to buyers, or when a buyer sends you an offer and you accept an offer, the immediate payment requirement goes out the door. We talk about this all the time. Hopefully, eventually, eBay is going to make it. And when someone makes an offer, that they immediately have to pay, like every other platform.
Please.
So we definitely would be, we'll be happy when that happens. But yes, we have immediate payment required on everything, but that only works when someone pays your buy it now price.
Yeah.
I don't accept offers on probably 90% of my items. I have offers, best offer on probably 10% of my items only.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, that's my biggest whiny beef about eBay right now is I'm just so ready to make people pay when they make offers because it's so annoying. So annoying. I sent out an offer yesterday for a jacket for $125. The guy asked me a couple of questions. Then he accepts my offer. Then he waits a day to be like, oh, so I'm going to have to pay for this on Thursday. And it's like,
really, jackass?
And I just said, all I responded with was fine. Because I'm just like, I don't have time to teach, to give you a lesson or yell at you or type out a whole thing about
I yelled at somebody yesterday.
About maybe you should like talk about that before you accept an offer. But I'm just like, whatever. I'll wait another effing 4 days.
So I'm going to tell my story now.
Go ahead.
So I had a stupid hat, a vintage hat that I've had in my store for a long time, whatever. It was listed for like $30. It's not even a huge price, right? Stupid little bread and butter thing. Somebody offered 20. I'm like, fine, I'll take it. I accept the offer. And he bugged me for like weeks and I didn't want to take 20 for it because that's just a crappy number. It's small, right? So I finally accept the offer. Never pays. I open my unpaid item assistant, which is set up normally to, open up after 3 days or 4 days or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The day before it's supposed to close, he messages me and he's like, yeah, can you cancel this order because I'm not going to be able to pay for this? And I messaged him back. I said, it'll cancel on its own once the unpaid item times out and you receive a strike on your account for not paying. And he's like, well, fine, be that way. Why wouldn't you cancel it? I sent him a message back. I said, why would I? The unpaid item assistant is used to penalize people such as yourself for abusing the buying system and not honoring your commitment to make a purchase.
I mean, the reality is once you open an unpaid case,
of course they don't do shit.
You're not allowed to cancel it after that. So it doesn't really matter.
They don't do anything to the customer.
No.
I think
clearly
it doesn't do anything. Maybe if they did 100 of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. There you go. What you got? Oh, another jacket. Look at you.
Another jacket. I sold this. I don't remember what I paid for this either. I'm losing my mind apparently this week. Maybe $10, $15. Mm-hmm. I sold it on an offer on Poshmark. It was actually a reasonable offer. I think I had it listed for $139.95 and they offered me $100, which is huge on Poshmark. Huge. Poshmark, usually I have something priced at $150 and they're going to offer me $10. I mean, that's the way the Poshmark jerks are. But $100 on $140, yes, I will take that all day long.
All righty, ready. Next up is the Saw t-shirt. So this one isn't Etsy vintage because Etsy wants it to be 20 years old. But a lot of people in like the vintage streetwear community will call something vintage anywhere up until like the early mid 2000s at this point. And again, like I've got the year on there, so it's fair to consider it vintage, but this is an American Apparel t-shirt, so it's double stitched, yada, yada, yada. I bought this on eBay for $30. Somebody had it listed for $30. I yoinked it right out of there. I've had it listed for maybe... Yoinked it right out of there. I yeeted it right into my cart and bought it. And
you what it?
You don't know because you're too old.
You did what to it?
I yeeted it. Anyway,
what the hell does that mean?
Well, maybe you should ask somebody who's hip and cool.
Apparently, I need to ask my kid what the hell it means. Yeeted.
Anyway, and I've had it for a couple of months. Made for a good post on my old Instagram. Again, paid $30, and then somebody offered me $125 on Grailed. And unlike eBay, Grailed knows how to do binding offers using PayPal as a payment system. Somehow they managed to figure out something eBay cannot do. And so they offered $125. I accepted and was immediately paid cash money through PayPal. Anyway, not a bad little.
Hey, Karen. Karen, Lavender Clothesline in the chat. I haven't seen your name in a long time. Thanks for popping in.
Hello.
Hope you're doing well. I think you're still doing well. I know she's doing a ton of YouTube videos and killing it as usual. So good to see you pop in. Thanks for popping in and saying hello.
Hello. Here's something you sold that I scouted out for you.
You did. I wish I could tell you how big this thing is.
It's real big.
So that Cleveland, Frankie is correct. The Cleveland Indians jacket will probably increase in value at some point because they are not going to be using that name, but they haven't changed the name as of yet. And Cleveland Indians logo was not one that is necessarily deemed offensive, or the name is not deemed offensive as of yet. So it's not something that has been super controversial. I think they're just preemptively ready to let go of it just in case and to be sensitive, which I appreciate. So the Cleveland Indians stuff hasn't increased in value as of yet. And I'm all about, someone wants to make a killing on it in 6 months or a year. If they change things, then fine. I'm cool with that. So this JanSport backpack is just a vintage hiking backpack. It looks normal here. I wish I could show you how tall it was, which you really can't tell.
30 inches. That's pretty.
You can't tell how tall it is from the photos. It kind of just looks like a regular backpack. 30 inches is enormous. Enormous. So it's a really big backpack. Anyway, it's sold on, I picked it up for $12.99 somewhere in Arizona.
It wasn't here.
It was Arizona. It was at a Goodwill in Arizona. I'm not sure which part of Arizona it was in. It might have even been
I think it was in Tucson.
Oh, you're right. It was in Tucson. So picked it up in Tucson for $12.99 and sold it on Etsy. It's been listed a month or two. $79.95 plus the buyer paid shipping. They paid $14.95 shipping because I just put a flat shipping fee in there, but they of course happen to be in Massachusetts. So it did cost me $25 to ship it through FedEx.
Very nice.
But yeah, it's enormous. It's really huge. Big. Like if you're a short person, 30 inches, that's like it's half your height.
Yeah.
So anyway,
if you know somebody who's 60 inches tall,
that's 5 feet. That's not
true.
Wow, why did you say it like 60 inches is 5 feet? If that's a short woman. That's a really short man, short woman.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, next up, my last piece is this Rush t-shirt. This is another one. This is one I bought from that big bundle I bought from Barry. Again, I bought 36 t-shirts from him for $2,000. So the average cost was $55. As you know, I already long ago exceeded making my money back on this. So every piece that I sell now is just pure profit. And this is one of the t-shirts in there that was less rare. If you look up Rush Power Windows vintage t-shirts on eBay, there are several of them out there. So it is not a rare one. Or one that goes for a lot of money. So actually having somebody offer me $127, I was all over that because again, I've already made all my money back and I was sending out offers on eBay for like $100 on this t-shirt. So $127, fantastic. It's a really cool shirt. I like the graphic on it a lot. Front and back and everything. It's definitely an awesome shirt, but yeah, just not super, super rare. So $127 is an awesome price to get. That's everything that we sold.
That's all the sold. Well, not everything we sold. Everything, it's just our highlights for the week.
Highlights of the week.
There's a lot of low lights too. So if you wanted to go and look at our stores, as we tell you all the time, we don't hide our stores. We don't have special. We don't put out of stock option on our stores. Nothing like that. So you can always go and see exactly what we sold and what we sold items for. We don't sugarcoat anything. We're pretty transparent with our numbers. So yeah. Absolutely. Anywho, do we want to talk about some of our? Let's see. Do we have any chat questions to catch up on, and then we can show some of our haul for the week?
I think we're good. Why don't you go ahead and show us what you got?
I don't have a lot of hard goods this week, guys. Sorry. I really need to go on a big buying binge. The stores are full of shit. I mean, honestly.
You got to hit the bins.
It's time for me to do the bins and estate sales and garage sales again. I've been kind of hibernating and not doing that very much, but being that we're going to be all fully vaxxed up soon, we don't really need to be as concerned as we have been for ourselves or other people. So we're happy to get back out there and do that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's been hit or miss. Like every store I go in, They are pricing pretty much hard goods out. Like, first of all, the shelves are empty. And what is left on the shelves is absolute dollar store crap.
Yeah.
I am just not finding much. Estate sales, Laura, you have estate sales that are fantastic where you are. Those of us
They're more limited here.
Those of us that live in this valley here, the Las Vegas Valley, Las Vegas Henderson Valley, you will understand that our estate sales are horrible. They're very limited. If you're lucky, there are maybe 4 or 5 on a weekend, and they are all priced at full retail. You very rarely get a chance to get any good stuff at an estate sale because they price it higher than I could sell it for at almost everything. Yeah. So that is the one area I love where I live. We are sorely lacking in the estate sale department.
Yeah.
So
you need to hit up the bins.
Yeah. That's not like the be all end all, but yes, I do need to do it.
I'm just saying, because every time you go, you come home with a lot of stuff.
It's true. I need to go. So anyway, I picked these shoes. I got these at a Savers this week, so I was pretty excited. These are some vintage, like 1980s, late 70s Valentino designer, Valentino men's boots. They are, like the Chelsea boot is what it would be called, or a Beetle boot. So I think these are actually 80s. I'm looking at the sole on these and the rounded toe. So I'm guessing 80s. I have to check probably the label on see inside Valentino.
Look at Britt in the chat. Hello, Mr. Britt.
Hello, Britt. So I'm probably going to list these for about $100 or so. Vintage Valentino. It's not like it's going to be a fast seller like anything else that I sell as vintage. I'll list them for about $100. I expect to get at least $75 for them, though. I paid $7, by the way. That was shockingly, they did not have them priced at $25. Every pair of Dockers shoes is priced at $20 at a Savers, but Valentino, $7.
Anyway, Brett says the trick is to just get rid of all your big boxes, and as soon as you do, you'll find some really cool giant items.
It's true. Okay, so this is another brand that I was not familiar with, but I actually picked these shoes up at Savers this week, and they just felt like super nice quality. They're really, really nice, kind of like a gray, tan, taupey, suede color with a block heel. And the brand is Alberto Fermin, Fermani. And they're made in Italy. That's one of those big indicators. Like if you find something and you're not entirely sure what it's worth, if it says made in Italy and you've got a leather sole and not a plastic sole, that's generally an indicator of quality when you're looking at shoes. Not always. There's exceptions always. But if it feels good, if it's heavy and it's made in Italy, chances are it's a well-made shoe. I looked these up. They do sell for, again, I'll probably get about $75 for these, but brand new, they retail like $400 or $500. They're great shoes.
Crazy, man.
I actually would wear them if they were my size. They're a little bit too big. And then here's an indicator of the exact opposite of what I just said, because these shoes weigh about 4 ounces. And they're made out of plastic. They're not even a well-made shoe, but they are a brand of shoe called Gobi, Goby. These are new. I paid $4 for these, and these are a London shoe. So they've got like the little, it says London on the side and kind of like, graffiti, and they've got a little blue cab or whatever it's supposed to be. This brand Gobi, I own 3 or 4 pairs of this brand. They're super comfortable and really cute little ballet shoes, slip-ons. And these sell for $45 to $55 all day long. There's not a ton of them. And every time you find them, I would say buy them because they will sell. They're actually super comfortable. And if these were my size, I would keep them too, even though I don't really care about London. But they're cute shoes.
I think those are kind of rude. What do you guys, what does London ever do to you?
Nothing.
Jeez.
Some people have a London thing. I don't, but this I was pretty stoked to find. I paid $10 for these, but they're worth it. I think I grabbed them just as they were putting them out. They're super tiny. I don't know whose time. Maybe my kid would fit in these. These are a women's extra small Stella McCartney Adidas line. Just capri leggings in a bright pink. I paid $10 for these. They'll sell for about $70. So just a brand to keep an eyeball out for.
Crazy.
Stella McCartney.
See, and I would look at that and just think it was something cheap.
Yeah. I only looked it up because it's a co-brand between Adidas and Stella McCartney. Stuff sells very well. Hello, Kelly, Miss Hip Flippin' Mama.
Hip Flippin' Mama. Hip Flippin' Mama, what's going on? Boop, boop.
Let's see. Yesterday or this weekend was 50% off purple tags. So I paid $5.50 for these. Well, $6 for this. This is, again, another one of those things. It doesn't matter about brand. It's all about style. So this is a vintage. It has padded shoulders. Probably 80s. Yeah, probably 80s. Just this lace jacket. It's pink. It's this blush pink lace with like, these fake pearl buttons on the sleeves. This is that very romantic Victorian style that's super popular right now. I would use both of those words to describe this. I'll probably list it for about $75. Yeah, it's really pretty. Again, going off what is popular right now, when you're selling vintage, which I sell primarily vintage, it doesn't have a lot to do with tags. Brand name is not as important as style and function, right? So right now, this is a very inexpensive skirt that I paid $2 for at a thrift store. It has an elastic waist. It's a long, full skirt with a ruffle on the bottom. This is the epitome of cottage core and the look that is cottage core right now. It's in a larger size, which plus size women have a hard time finding good vintage clothing. I am a plus size girl. And this is probably at least an extra large. This would fit like a 16 or so. And again.
So you're saying that would fit me?
No brand. Yeah, it would fit you or it would fit me. No brand on this, but it doesn't matter. This is the epitome of cottage core and prairie core and boho. And again, romantic flowers, that kind of thing. I'll probably price this around $50 and I expect that it'll sell pretty quickly. I'll do one more and then Katie can go.
Okay.
Again, along that same vein, doesn't matter what the brand is. This is not a brand name, but it is a plus size that I paid $5 for. This is a bigger plus size. I think that size, I don't know, maybe a 2X or so. This is a denim skirt, and it's a long, full prairie skirt with just the red and black and gray plaid. So this is vintage 90s. And this is kind of in between that, like, it's kind of like that country look. So country, almost grunge. This is the type of skirt that you could dress up or dress down. You could wear this with a t-shirt and a pair of Doc Martens and a leather jacket, or you could wear this with like a white frilly button-up shirt and go with that whole cottage country look.
Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah, I paid $5 for that. I'll probably list that one for like $65 or $75. Cottage core is a look that can be either vintage clothing or current clothing. It's
they're selling it at like Target.
They're selling it at Target. There's a whole running joke and memes going on with the cottage core dresses from Target. They're actually pretty funny. But yeah, it's kind of cottage core, prairie core. It's a blast back to the vintage Gunne Sax dresses from the 60s and the 70s. Picture long ankle length or mid-calf length dresses and skirts. Lots of
I like my dresses.
Flowers, pastels, flowy. Picture somebody wearing a daisy flower wreath on their head and walking through a field of flowers in a flowy dress, and that's cottage core. So yeah, I don't really know what it is, but yeah, why are they copying our style from the 70s, 80s, even the early 90s, like those long flowing rayon dresses that tied in the back from the 90s? That's the thing. So Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And it really started with the lockdown and COVID happening, people getting back to their roots and making sourdough bread and banana bread. And it was a thing. And I don't really understand what brought it back, but it's like anything else. Things have trends. And right now that's a current trend.
Yep. Just strange. All right. Who's ready for some t-shirts?
I'm so ready for t-shirts right now.
You thought some of the stuff I brought home was pretty cool this week.
I do.
So, like I said, I've been telling you guys at yesterday's fits, Jesse's been getting in ridiculous amounts of stuff. And so he's having to move it out quickly. And so they had a really big sale this week. It's still going on today, in fact. A lot of stuff for $5 a piece, a lot of stuff for $20, and then they're just regular stuff. So I got a bunch of stuff for $5.20, and then I've also paid up for some other items. Pretend like you care about me.
See, I just looked down, Allison. You got me in trouble.
Yeah, Allison, you need to knock it off. You need to turn your phone off right now.
See?
Anyway, so rude.
She's like, how about now? How about now? You in trouble yet? How about now?
I'm going to turn that over. You don't even need to see it light up. Okay, so Looney Tunes does really well, and I think Marvin the Martian stuff especially, and this is just a really
Take
cool...
me to your leader.
Yep, this is a really cool graphic. Let me put that right in front of your face there.
This is my space modulator.
It says "Feeling Lucky Earthling," and it's just got... I love the graphic on this. It's got a great even fade all over. It's in pretty good condition. It's got like some little... There's a little bit of a hole right here in the back, but you know what? I don't care. There's no tag or anything on it, but you know what? I don't care. It does have the copyright info right there, so it's totally fine. I paid like $40 for this, but I will probably try to sell this for like $100. But Looney Tunes stuff is great, so it's really hot right now. So this will be a really good Instagram post for me because I'm always trying to like keep my Instagram active. And so this is a perfect kind of shirt for that. So I'll sell this for like $100, but I paid about $40. This is super awesome. And this is dead stock. It's got the original tags on it. And it's super cool. We
all know how you like Universal.
I do. I love any Universal stuff. And this is, the movie Men in Black, but it's Men in Black Alien Attack.
So is that the second one, or is that a
no?
ride?
It's a honestly, I haven't done my research yet, but I'm assuming it's it's either a ride or an experience. I've never been to Universal Studios in Florida, so I don't know this particular one. But this is from the 90s, and it's a single stitch all around. It's got...
you haven't looked it up yet?
I did look it up briefly. Hold on a second here. I did look it up briefly, but it was made in the U.S. It's got the original tag on it. It's an extra large, 2XL. Originally, it was $26.95. I did look this up, and there's currently...
Corey said it's a ride.
Yeah. So there's currently one other one that's listed that has the tie-dye like this, but the one that's listed, it's like, not all tie-dye is going to be the same. It's always going to be different, right? So the one I saw, the tie-dye, the split was right at the top, I think, of this. It didn't look as good as this one. But I paid like $50 for this, but I will sell this. I'm going to try to sell it for like $150, and I think I'll be able to get that. Because Men in Black stuff's super popular. Any Men in Black promos.
What'd you pay for it?
Like $50. He only had it priced at $70. And because basically I'll pull stuff from his regularly priced stuff, and then he'll give me the price that he'll go through, and he'll be like $50 for this, and I'll be like, yes. Anyway, I should be able to sell this for $150, but just a really cool graphic. Dead stock, and an awesome size because it's 2XL.
I would have thought you'd get more for that than $150.
Well, I'll probably price it higher. I'll price it at least $200.
Tie-dye drip.
With hopes that I'll get $150. Next up is this sweet. Speaking of tie-dye, look at this awesome shirt right here. Now, this one I did actually pay up a bit for. I paid $75 for this one. I will sell this. I'm going to sell this for like $200. National, huh?
$75 for anything.
I bought a bunch of $5 t-shirts that were really cool, and then I paid up for some really cool stuff that I'm going to make money on.
I am a cheap ass bitch.
Yes, you are. National Museum of Natural History, Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. This is a beautiful shirt. It's a fantastic size. It's an XL. It's got the planets all around. I will sell this for at least $200. It's just a really cool shirt. And of course, it's single stitch all around as well. Just a really awesome t-shirt.
None of these are washed yet that you're touching me with, Artie.
I think this was dead stock. And this one I think is new, so it doesn't need to be washed. It's not dirty.
Okay, it still doesn't need to be on my face. It's 30 years old. It's not
All right, crybaby. All right, crybaby. Next up, I have this.
Can you tell I get skeeved by germs a little bit?
Okay, crybaby. Next, I have this Bruce Lee t-shirt. This t-shirt's really cool. I've been eyeballing this for a while. He'd had it in his shop since like August. And so, of course, I was like, dude, you've had this since August. What can we do with this price here? This is from 1996. Just you can see the copyright is just the estate of Bruce Lee. And it's a great graphic, single stitch. The tag's all faded. But he had this price up quite a bit. I think he had it up to like, it was like $150 or something like that. But I paid like $60 for it. And it's just a really cool shirt. I will probably sell it for like $150. But awesome shirt. Again, some of the stuff, it's like I want to have some good t-shirts to be able to throw up on the old Instagram. Because they like different kinds of stuff. And not necessarily my
grammars.
Not necessarily my bread and butter stuff. All right, so Jesse's also been having someone tie-dye some of their stained white t-shirts to try to get some new life out of them. So this is one, I like the graphic on it, but I didn't buy it before when he had it priced up a little higher, but I paid $5 for this. I mean, come on, this is pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of the dye job on this particular one, but
the colors work.
But the colors are cool, and the Comp USA Gamer is just a really cool graphic. And so definitely worth picking up for $5. That's a more accurate color back there. It kind of got dark and weird when I got close. But really cool graphic. I actually wish I could have gotten this as a white t-shirt, but whatever. For $5, I'll take it. I'll probably sell this for like $70. It's a cool t-shirt.
White, you would have bleached the crap out of it. You should have gotten it before he tie-dyed it. You would have fixed
the
staining.
I can't get my hands on everything before he does that. Now this one, similar color scheme, but I actually like it a lot on this one. I think this one looks much better. And this one is Sharky's Surf Shop, Hawaii. Really cool graphic. And I think that the color works with this graphic a lot better. And I also think the tie-dye itself was executed better on this one. And again, I paid $5 for this, single stitch all around. The tag, it's on a
We need to bring our stained shirts to camp with us this year.
Yeah.
And tie-dye them.
Tie-dye some of them. But this one's great. I paid $5 for it. I'll probably sell it for like $50. Just a really cool Sharky's Surf Shop. And then I'll do one more and then I'll pass it back to Vicki for the rest of hers, and then I'll show the rest of mine. But this one, I was teasing Vicki again. I was like, this is going to be your favorite shirt right here. And she loved it right away, which I thought was funny because the reason I said it was her favorite is because it uses one of her least favorite words.
True, but it's a fun shirt.
It's a really cool, really cute Snoopy t-shirt that says world's greatest lover on it. And you know how Vicki loves the word lover. But it's just this one's a really cool shirt. I think I paid $20 for this one. But it's really soft. You feel it? The material is really soft on this one. And it's I'll show you. It's this old 80s Artex tag right there. Really awesome shirt. I'm pretty sure, I don't think I got this one for $5. I think I paid $20 for this one. But
Joe Cool Snoopy.
Yeah, I always do really well with the Snoopy stuff. So this one I'll probably sell for like $70. This will be one that will go on Etsy for like $70 is what will probably most likely happen. But awesome shirt. All right, go ahead.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I'm definitely targeting that Cottage Core, Prairie Core look when I'm looking through the racks in stores right now, because you've got to sell what's hot, right? So as much as my stuff sits usually, I would prefer to buy stuff that sells faster. So again, I paid about $7.50 for this. This is a vintage Laura Ashley. Nothing says Cottage Core more than Laura Ashley and Gunne Sax right about now. So Laura Ashley, this is just like a sleeveless, it's kind of like an apron front long dress in a pretty blue and green fabric. It has the belts in the back to give it a little bit of waist definition. Ooh. And it has some pockets in the front. It's long, it's a full dress, and it's cotton. It has all of these factors that mean it will sell fast and it will sell well. I will list this for about $100. I paid $8 for it. Again, I think this one will sell pretty quickly. Oh, and I just found a hole in it. God damn it. Maybe it won't be $100.
I feel like it still could be.
Yeah. I just found a hole right there.
It's very sad.
It's
with
not
that
a big
pattern,
hole,
though, you can't really see it.
and I really don't know why it has a button.
Extra button?
A button on the inside. It doesn't. Yeah. It's an extra button, but it's not the same button that's on the damn dress anywhere.
I don't know.
So tell me, riddle me this, Batman. Why does it have a button on the inside that's gold, and the buttons on the dress are black?
Maybe they replaced all the buttons.
Oh, maybe they did.
See, I'm smart.
That's possible. All right, maybe not 100, but at least 75. I'll see if I can fix Crystal can fix the hole. Maybe not. And let's see, call it a lucky button. Yeah, right. And the other thing that I sell all the time, and I've talked about this before on the show, is vintage denim dresses. So long, modest, use the word modest in your title, dresses and skirts. This is just, again, vintage, short sleeved. It's a full, it's made by County Seat, which means it's probably 90s County Seat jeans wear. And it's just a long, full skirt, down to the ankle, buttons up the front, the little belt in the back, again, to give waist definition, totally 90s. I paid $4 for this. This is another one I'll probably list for $65, $75. They sell every time. If you happen to find them in plus size, they sell that much better. But long denim skirts and long denim dresses sell very well, especially the apron or pinafore type of dresses, like a jumper. And put modest in the title. People that wear modest clothing because of religious reasons or personal reasons, they're going to look for clothing like that. And denim, for some reason, is very popular. And I think that's why I find a lot of it when I shop at Deseret Industries, because Deseret is a Mormon thrift store. It's a Mormon-run thrift store. So I think that there's a significant amount of modest clothing that is donated there as well. So I tend to find a lot of that type of clothing at Deseret. I don't find as much at Savers or Goodwill, but I find a lot at Deseret. And back to the Prairie Core, Cottage Core. This is a white.
This is a Cottage Core wedding dress.
It could be a wedding dress. I'm going to put wedding in the title for sure. And this probably was worn in a Mormon wedding. This is just a vintage long sleeved. You can see like the jacquard. It's the white on white jacquard pattern with long sleeves. And then it has that dip at the V dip at the waist right here. And then a long skirt. It's tiny though. It has pockets, which is nice. Pockets are always a big seller on dresses. Women love pockets on dresses.
Gotta put your tater tots in there.
I'm feeling something in this pocket, so who knows what's in it? We're gonna find out together. Ooh, deep pockets even. Jeez.
It's a treasure.
Deep pockets. Oh, a tissue. Because
Yeah.
always a tissue. Candy wrapper.
Some lozenges.
Yep, I think that's all that's in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the garbage.
Yeah, go ahead. Thanks.
Gross.
Oh wait, other pocket. Oh, lifesavers.
Oh, that's what
Minty
it was.
lifesavers. Someone wore this, got married, and had breath-freshening lifesavers in their pocket when they were walking down the aisle. I'm gonna say. So this is made in the USA, extra small, vintage, probably early 80s, maybe 90s. Beehive clothing made in the USA. I'll look this one up a little bit just to see if I can date it better by the brand. But yeah, this is just a plain one.
I feel. Oh my.
Oh, I hit the no button. Oops.
I feel you, Allison. She's forced to wear dresses as a child. I don't want to wear them. I don't want to sell them. Also, Rainbow Bright was a horrible gift to receive as a kid. Hell yeah. And as far as dresses go, I didn't have to wear dresses normally, but I did have to wear them on Sundays when I went to church. So believe me, no thank you. No thank you.
One more. This one is a handmade dress. Vintage with rickrack around the collar. That's what this is. This little
rickrack.
That little fabric right there. That's called rickrack. And same thing. This is a very small, tiny waist, 3/4 sleeves. Again, a modest style dress. And very long, full skirt in like a cottony fabric, maybe a little bit of polyester, cotton poly blend. I paid $6. This one zips up the back. So this one is actually, I would say this one's probably 60s based on the sleeve and the and where the zipper placement is. Handmade like a lot of clothing was in the 50s and 60s. Again, something I'll probably put in the $75 range. And I guess that's probably it. I mean, I've got a couple more things. I'll just show one more. Vintage. I did pay up for this a little bit. This was, and pay up for me means I paid $9. This is a vintage Neiman Marcus Jonquil or Jonquil. Jonquil. It's a French word. Jonquil. Jonquil. It is a vintage satin robe, women's robe. And it's got this big lacy shawl collar and the lace edges on the sleeves, but it's one of those that's a very big full, what they would call a full sweep skirt. So it's a long one that would go to like ankle or mid calf. It has pockets, it has the belt.
Ooh.
But
Any
because it
lozenges?
has no lozenges, but because it's got this really big full skirt, they would call it a full sweep. And it's in an off-white or like a blush color here. And that one I'll probably list for about $75 to $85 too. That's it.
My turn?
Yes, that green one is definitely very Handmaid's Tale type dress.
All right, I just have a few left here. This one, I think I got this one for like $15. It was not a $5 one, but it's got, I don't remember what this character's name is, but this is like from Dagwood, right?
Yeah, Dagwood.
It says what part
He
of
eats
no
sandwiches.
What part of no? Well, Dagwood's the one who eats the sandwiches.
Oh yeah, I don't remember
This
who
is
he
like
is.
his friend or neighbor.
Oh, Andy Cap. That's not.
Andy
it's not
Cap. That's
Dagwood.
what it is.
Andy Cap.
It's not. You're right. You're right. Anyway, I couldn't remember.
God, I just showed my age. How long ago was Andy Cap actually a
Long
comic
time
strip
ago. Anyway,
Do they even have
1995.
comics in the newspapers anymore?
They probably do. I'm sure they do. People don't read. When I was a kid, I loved getting the Sunday paper because that's what you got the colored comic pages. And it was multi-pages. The regular.
Mm-hmm.
Put it away. Turn it over. So rude. They want you to at least hang out with them. At least be reading the chat. Ugh. Anyway, regular newspaper, it was black and white, and then the Sunday paper came with like the 4-page.
Yeah, colors.
Yeah, I loved it. Anyway, so it just says what part of no trend. Now, normally I don't pick up these kinds of shirts, like the jokey kind of like saying kind of thing, but because this is from an actual comic strip and it's actually a pretty good graphic, I like it. I picked it up.
Allison, what's a newspaper? Don't you remember, Granny? That was when you used to buy it for 5 cents from the corner from the boy that wore the hat and
I
the
wouldn't
bag.
try to go toe to toe with
No.
Allison because you are going to be in big trouble here in a minute. Big trouble. She thinks she's funny today, Allison. She thinks she's real funny. Anyway, this is on the Fruvolume tag. It's an XL. It's a really good size. I paid like $15 for it. This one, I will sell this for, I'll probably try and sell for like $70. It might take a little bit longer, but it's a great graphic. And somebody's going to be nostalgic for that comic. All right. Next up, this one is a $5 one. And I'm surprised he was selling it off for so. It's from 1993, but this is a Christian one. You guys know I always do really well with my Christian t-shirts. This one's in great condition. It says Word Warrior. It's got the Bible on there with Hebrews 4:12 verse on the front of it. It's got the swords. And then on the back, it's got more Bible verses, Joshua 1:8. So this is a really cool shirt. And
Jacob says Christian Core. We're going to coin
Christian
that one.
Core. Absolutely. So again, on the Fruvolume tag XL.
I didn't make up Prairie Core and Cottage Core, but we can make up Christian Core.
Yeah.
Jacob, you need to copyright that right now.
I will put this up for 100 and try and sell it for at least like 65.
She does really well.
Yeah, my Christian stuff does. Really
Allison says I'm now a year older and probably a bit slower. Now's the best time. I could take you.
So I bought a couple things off of an auction going on Instagram, and this one was one, and I paid $25, $30 for this. I think I got a smoking deal.
I like that
There
one.
aren't any other ones out there available right now. I was able to comp it out and find that somebody had one that they sold for a ridiculously low price, which I think is crazy because, again, I always do really well with Snoopy stuff. And this one is awesome. It says virtual Snoopy, and then you turn it around and it's got Snoopy fighting. But what I love about it is it's very like Lawnmower Man, Tron kind of thing going on. It's a super cool, like vintage tech kind of thing. Plus it's Snoopy. Plus it's like kind of the
gamer,
a virtual Red Baron. I mean, it's just really, really cool. So I'm going to list this up there kind of high. I'll probably put another one. I'll put at like 100 and hope to get, I mean, I'd love to get 100, but probably do aggressive offers down to like 65. So just a really cool 90s single stitch t-shirt. All right. And then this last one, I paid up for this one. So he had this one and the same guy, and it was a Dutch auction. So it was where he started at his highest price and then dropped down until he didn't want to go any lower, and then he pulled it. So when I went to pay up for the Snoopy t-shirt, I was like, I really want that t-shirt, but I think he had pulled it at like 130. And I said, I'd pay 100 for it if you want to throw that in. And he said, I'll take it. I think it took him a little while to decide, but he said, I'll take it. This is Predator. It's a Predator t-shirt. Good old Arnold Schwarzenegger on there. Predator, ridiculous graphic on the front. And then the back is this, soon the hunt will begin.
Was that supposed to be Schwarzenegger on the front?
Yeah, it's a really bad graphic.
I was going to say, that doesn't look anything like him.
Let me get it here.
Or a little bit with the forehead there, mayes.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So
it's a bad depiction.
When he was showing it, he was saying, he was calling it a boot. I don't think it's a bootleg, actually. It actually does have,
there's a copy right there.
It's not like, this was not like a movie promo, but I do think that this was a licensed version of a t-shirt for the movie. And part of that is because it has copyright information on it. And part of it also has to do with the fact that I can actually find other ones just like it. A lot of times if it's like some fake boot, it's like you're not going to find other ones that are out and available for sale.
Allison says Edward Norton. Michelle says Aaron Paul. See? It looks nothing like, I don't think it looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger at all either.
Yeah, so I just think this was because the copyright, it just says concert shirts. And
that's right. Allison's birthday was just the other day.
Oh. So I think they were just licensed to make a t-shirt off of this movie, and it's just not a particularly nice one. But I paid 100 for it. I should be able to sell this still for at least, I'm going to say $250, and it's got a nice back hit.
And it was 3 days ago, so it was the 11th was the birthday.
And
sorry, we're shitty friends, Allison. Happy birthday.
Well, how would we know? I don't pay attention to Facebook for birthdays.
Well, she only has like 4 friends on Facebook. She's only on Facebook so that she can like get notifications, I think.
Yeah. And I don't pay attention to Facebook. So anyway, that's my last thing. And I'm excited about getting this one listed.
That's a cool one.
It is a cool one. So $100, but it's actually in really good condition. It's on the smaller side, but it's still.
Everybody send Allison some birthday love.
Yeah. All right. That's everything.
Allison, I'm going to buy you some sour cream for your birthday, and I will let you keep it in the fridge with your McDonald's McMuffins when you come and stay with us in May. I promise to not throw away the sour cream or your McMuffins.
I just want to let you know, Allison, about something that happened to me the other day. I'm going to wrap this show up with something very painful that happened to me the other day.
You're going to get real for a minute?
I'm going to get real with you guys for a minute, okay? I was hungry. I was ready to eat something. I wanted a little snack. And I thought, you know what? I've got some Ruffles downstairs. I've got some Ruffles potato chips. I knew they were going to be there because she's not a Ruffles fan, and they were plain flavored. So she really wasn't going to be eating them. So I'm like, going down, gonna get me some Ruffles potato chips. I go down there, open the cupboard, and I'm like, where are my Ruffles potato chips? Can't find them, Allison. Can't find my Ruffles potato chips. So I call in the other room, and I'm like, do you know what happened to my Ruffles potato chips? You know, my potato chips, my Ruffles potato chips that I bought myself for myself. Where are they? And you know what she said? She threw them away. Because apparently I hadn't eaten any of them in a week. She threw them away. And I said, that's it. It's over. I started packing my stuff. I called an Uber, and I'm like, don't you ever touch my shit again and throw it away. Because she decided she took it upon herself that it was too old. That it was time for it to go. We are in the same house, you guys. We're together 24/7. She couldn't just say, hey, you still going to eat these chips? Nope, couldn't do that. Took it upon herself, threw it away.
I was cleaning.
Mm-hmm. So rude.
They were on the counter.
So guess what? I've been cleaning.
Untouched.
Guess what? I've been cleaning some of her shit too. I've cleaned a few things of hers as well. Okay, into the garbage can. Into the garbage can. Such an asshole. And it's funny because our whole motto on the show is hashtag don't be a dick, but some people in this house don't feel like they have to live by it. So rude. All right, guys. Yeah, see? Laura knows. Laura knows. Chips don't go bad. They were rolled up. They were.
Says, I'd last a day living like that. Maybe.
Always trying to throw my stuff away. She's so rude. She's so rude.
Yes, the bag was open.
No,
Tommy.
it was not. It was opened. It wasn't open. It was opened and then it was sealed back up again. It was not open.
It wasn't sealed.
It was fine. It was rolled up.
over.
Perfectly acceptable. And secondly, they were mine. You were not going to be consuming them. They belong to me that I paid for with my own GD money. Bitch. So rude. So rude. And then she gets mad and wants to know, why do you hide food in your office? This is why! This is why I hide it in my office. Because it's not safe from you.
And then my mother comes out and I'm like, we're going to get bugs. You're going to get bugs in your office.
She's always obsessed with this idea of bugs. And I'm like, if that was what happened, our kitchen would be literally covered in bugs. Yeah, where we keep the food.
Allison's bringing a mini fridge to Vegas.
Where are these bugs?
Bring a lock.
No, I'm going back to hiding food in my office because I need to get like a special little, like a special cabinet.
You know, snack cabinet
with a lock on it, mind you. Okay. All right, that's my rant for the week.
Are you done?
Yeah. You have anything you'd like to add?
I got nothing.
All right.
Don't leave your stale chips on the counter, apparently.
Seriously. Bye.
Bye, guys.